Let us now discuss about the characteristics of sound. Sound has three characteristics, as you can see written on the board. They are loudness, pitch, and something called quality or timbre, T-I-M-B-R-E, timbre. So, what is loudness? Loudness is the property or characteristic of sound because of which we can distinguish a loud sound from a faint one. Okay, a faint sound from a loud sound. And for example, we can have two different sounds having the same pitch and quality. Okay, but still one could be a faint sound, alright, and the other could be a loud sound. So the characteristic of sound because of which we can distinguish between a loud sound and a faint sound is what is called loudness. And loudness depends on the amplitude of the wave. It depends on the amplitude of the wave. Amplitude of the wave. Okay, let me erase these two for now. So to say, one sound wave, say for example with this, although sound is not a transverse wave, okay, it is a longitudinal wave, I am showing in terms of the transverse wave itself. So this is the amplitude of the wave. Whereas there is another sound, okay, and its amplitude is this, as you can see. So if someone asks you which one is louder, okay, obviously this one will be louder. Why? Because it has a greater amplitude than the first one. So do remember, loudness depends on the amplitude of the wave, and it is the characteristic of sound because of which we can distinguish between a loud sound and a faint sound, although the two sounds may have the same pitch and the quality. Let us now talk about the second characteristic of sound, which is pitch. So what is pitch? Pitch is the characteristic of sound which tells us, or because of which we can distinguish between a shrill sound and a flat sound. Okay, like when we talk about a girl and a boy, girls have a sound, or they produce sound of a larger pitch than the sound produced by boys. Alright, so to say, shriller sound will have a higher pitch and flat or grave sound will have lower pitch. Okay, so it is the characteristic because of which we can distinguish between a shrill sound and a flat sound. And pitch, remember, it depends on the frequency of the wave. Frequency of the wave. And mind you, higher the frequency, shriller the sound, or more the pitch of the sound. And lesser the frequency, flat is the sound, and so to say, lesser the pitch of the sound. So we have two sound waves. Okay, and the other is, although they may have the same amplitude, okay, you can see that this has a higher frequency than this sound, so therefore this will have a higher pitch. Okay, because its frequency is more, okay, the number of waves is more. So this is about pitch of sound. And the third is quality. Quality, also called timbre. So what is this quality or timbre? It is the characteristic of sound because of which we can distinguish between two sounds coming from two different sources or two different instruments, so to say. Like I play a note C, in the guitar. tung, okay, and someone plays the same note C, in the piano, tung, we can easily distinguish, although the two sounds may have the same pitch, same shrillness, okay, and they may have the same intensity, same loudness, so to say, but still we can distinguish one sound is coming from the guitar, one sound is coming from the piano, or it could be the same note, okay, of the same pitch and the same loudness played in the violin, same note C, okay, we can easily say that sound is coming from the violin, okay. So this characteristic of sound, because of which we can easily distinguish between two sounds coming from two different sources, is what is called quality or timbre. And this depends on the waveform, the form of the wave. It depends on the waveform. What kind of a waveform is being generated by that source of sound? Like, one source of sound can generate this kind of a wave, whereas another source of sound may generate, it might generate, just a sec, okay. Alright, so you can see they have the same amplitude. They have the same amplitude, that is, they have the same loudness, so to say. If this is A, this is also A, alright? And you can see they have the same frequency also, they are ending at the same time. Okay, they have the same frequency, they have the same loudness, but since their waveform is different, okay, therefore these two sounds, they have different quality. So therefore, quality is that characteristic, as already mentioned, which distinguishes between two sounds coming from two different sources, although the two sounds may have the same pitch and the same loudness. So this is all that is there in the syllabus class 10 regarding sound. From the next video onwards, we are going to start electricity.